E. Jean Carroll accused Donald Trump of committing a terrible crime against her. She accused the former president of raping her. And yesterday, a jury delivered her justice. A jury of men and women in Manhattan declared that, in fact, E. Jean Carroll was defamed and sexually abused by the man who later this evening will appear on CNN before a town hall, talking about his candidacy to return to the White House, to once again be the president of the United States. Now, when Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville found out that Donald Trump had been found guilty of defamation against a woman who accused him of rape and sexual abuse against that woman, his response was utterly depraved. What he hoped for, he said, was that he could vote for Trump twice. What is that? What does that mean? How should we think about that as a threat to America? Perhaps our country is like a majestic tree, tall, seemingly sturdy, but on the inside, it's rotten, it's decayed. It seems like the perfect analogy when we think about our politics. George Santos was elected to the Congress from a suburban New York district. In fact, George Santos represents the district where Teddy Roosevelt's home is. He was charged on 13 federal counts of fraud. George Santos is an imposter, a talented Mr. Ripley of the Congress. His service there is an absolute disgrace. It's an indictment of our politics, and of course, it's an indictment of our media. How could it be that a man running for Congress just outside of New York City could have manufactured every aspect of his life, in fact, be a criminal, and yet be successfully elected to Congress? Again, it's a disgrace. We live in an era where the richest and most powerful people have fundamentally abdicated their responsibilities towards America. None more so than the senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham. What Lindsey Graham said after Donald Trump was found guilty of sexual abuse and defamation is that something has gone off the rail in the New York courts. No, Senator, but something has gone off the rails with you. And that was documented in the Bulwark, which showed Lindsey Graham's transformation, his selling out, his cynicism. Between 2015, when he decried and denounced Donald Trump as an existential threat, not just to the Republican Party, but to the country, to today, where he is among his most loyal sycophants, who will apologize for any depravity, any act, any instance of corruption on Donald Trump's behalf for the purposes of returning Donald Trump to political power. Our political class has become utterly detached from its sense of duty, its sense of responsibility to the country. No generation of Americans has been so faithless, so utterly detached from the idea that they are temporary stewards who are obligated to hand down to our children and their children a country that has more liberty, more freedom, more prosperity for them to pursue their happiness. How can this singular fact be lost on so many of America's leading politicians in the Republican Party? How can they have sold out their country for Donald Trump? It is the great question of our time. What is it that they despised so much about the responsibilities and duties that they asked for, that they would lay it all down for a con man from Queens, twice impeached, who incited violence, who killed with words, and promises to burn the American Constitution to the ground? He's a dangerous man. When Donald Trump takes the stage on CNN tonight, he will be a different man than he was just a few days ago. No longer is he just accused of rape by E. Jean Carroll. A New York jury has said, in fact, that his smearing of her was defamatory, and that, in fact, he sexually abused her. What will the first question be from Caitlin Collins to Donald Trump tonight? Will it be about inflation? Will it be about the budget? Or will it be about his seemingly endless depravities, about his disloyalty, about his violence? The American system seems to be cracking. It seems to be going off the rails. It will be up once again to we, the people, to bring this to an end. Tonight, we will get a good indication of how one of America's leading news networks will play Donald Trump. What will they do? Do they recognize that in this moment, for much of America, the lie and the truth stand equally in the public square? Do they understand that millions of American parents are terrified, dropping their kids off at school, wondering if they'll see them at the closing bell? Do they understand that millions of America's kids are traumatized by the duck and cover drills, preparing for that moment when a crazed gunman crosses the line and enters their school? Do they understand the cost of Trump's lying? Do they understand the fragility of American democracy? We'll find out tonight. The American people need to understand this next election, it's not hyperbole to say, it will be the last if the side wins that seeks to end democracy.